Hello everybody, welcome to Great Leveler Gaming. I am the Great Leveler today. Yes, another trailer reaction. Yes, you are warned. Lots of trailer reactions because there's so many good games that's dropped, and I'm so excited to be checking out the trailers, and I'm so glad to be checking them out with you guys at home or wherever you may be. And this one, Until Dawn 2. Oh, now, you will have heard me talk about it before. Until Dawn has a special place in my heart because it was the first ever game I played on the channel. I have learned a lot since I played it in terms of being a YouTube person. Not successful. I didn't say successful, but of being a YouTube person, editing, talking on camera, all that kind of stuff. But I always like to go back and watch the original Let's Play, and I just loved the story of Until Dawn. It was an ambitious title, maybe too ambitious. It had a lot of different things going for it. I feel like they really tried to incorporate every horror genre in there. They had serial killer vibes, they had ghosts, and they had monsters. Now, technically, there was only one true threat, but you didn't know that playing it. You had a little bit of everything. I loved it. It introduced one of my favourite video game monsters. One of them, not the only one, but one of them, the Wendigo. I just think it was just such a fun design, fun concept. The movement was great. The execution of it was fantastic. It was great. It was absolutely great. I knew they were coming in the game. I had that spoiled because by the time I played it, been out for a while. That didn't spoil my enjoyment of it. In fact, my only problem with Wendigo is it was such a good design that Supermassive Games went and developed Little Nightmares 3. Definitely the weakest of the Little Nightmares games. Sorry, it's a fact. I still enjoyed it, but it was definitely the weakest. It got better as it went on, and for me, the part where it got better was in the second level, which was like a candy factory. I'm going off topic, but you clicked on the video, you might as well listen to me ramble. The candy factory, there was the supervisor, and there was a part where she becomes more insect-like, shall we say. I'm not going to spoil it if you've not played that game. And it was at that point that for me the game got a lot better. However, I could not help but notice the startling similarities between the supervisor in her second form and the Wendigo. Just the movement, the sound she was making, it was a Wendigo with extra limbs. And as much as I enjoyed it, it felt like it'd been rehashed, and I don't feel like it fit in the Little Nightmares world as much as I enjoyed that section. So that for me was probably Supermassive's weakest kind of game that I've played. I have loved the Dark Pictures anthology. What I love about the Dark Pictures anthology is each game picks a genre and sticks with it. The first one was very much, well, in fact, the first two games were very ghost oriented. The third one was very monster oriented, and then the fourth one was serial killer. I've not yet played, I can't remember, Directive 820. I've not yet played that one. That one will be coming to the channel. It just got better and better with each reiteration. Then I played The Quarry. Really enjoyed The Quarry. Again, that kind of went a little bit where Until Dawn went because it was a longer, more bigger, almost like, I would almost compare the Dark Anthology to a TV series and the Until Dawn and Quarry games as more feature-length films. And because they're bigger, they try and put more into it. And when I think the Quarry had a very core idea, they did try and incorporate other things like ghosts and not necessarily serial killers, but you kind of get serial killer vibes from certain characters. But even my partner played it, and they absolutely loved it. Wanted to play it again, but she just never got around to doing it. But she really enjoyed it, and I just really, really love their stuff. I love these interactive horror films because that's what they are. They're interactive horror films, as far as I'm concerned. My only problem tends to be that I don't feel like they branch as much as I would like them to do, but it's easy for me to say it. A lot harder to actually implement a story that will branch and you'll completely see different scenes. But that's what I would love. Anyway, that's enough about the company because we've been rambling on for too long. So Until Dawn. So I don't know anything about this trailer other than it exists. So is it going to be set in the same world as Until Dawn 1? That will be my guess. Now, due to the fact that in the first game, every character could potentially die or survive, I don't really feel like you can continue their story. So here's my ideas of what I think is going to be revealed. And in 2 minutes we'll be proven completely wrong. The first theory is it's going to be set in the same area or similar setting with a similar monster, but I feel that's unlikely. 2, it's going to be the same cast playing different characters in a completely brand new scenario, maybe somewhere sunny where the last one was wintry. So far there might only 2 very fleshed out ideas. 1 is Wendy Goes Again. 2, it's the same cast in a whole new series, kind of like an American Horror Story. You take the same characters, put them in a different series. We'll see. So I want to know. So I'm going to crack on. Are you guys going to come with me? Yes, you are, because you already stuck around for like 5-6 minutes. So let's crack on, shall we? Yes. Somewhere nicer. I called that. The other one was winter. This one's summer.
Confront the evil, corrupting paradise. This is Dead True International.
Okay, not what I was expecting. Not the same cast. Okay, some of the motion capture always just looks a little weird. I don't know why. It looks good, but it just looks a little Uncanny Valley.
Does no one know this guy?
This guy on the left with the mustache kind of remind me of him from Jurassic World Rebirth.
I'll be looking out for you. Roland, whenever you're ready.
This facility has been shut down for decades.
Ooh,
Uninvestigated,
facility.
untold, until
Dawn.
now.
Yeah, this guy looks just like him from Jurassic World.
Nate, are you out there?
Ooh.
We gotta go.
Oh.
Have a bad feeling.
Let's get rid of it.
Grip it tight.
No, he's coming! Through there.
Take a deep breath.
Wow.
Which way? Steady the mind.
We're gonna have to jump!
This rock's down there.
Push him.
Can you do what needs to be done?
Is that Peter Stormare? Oh. Yes. Oh. Oh, amazing. I love Peter Stormare. Absolutely amazing. Everything I've seen him in is just incredible. Best ever rendition of Lucifer. I'm sorry, but Constantine, Peter Stormare, just hands down, just the best, in my opinion. Humble that it may be. That looks incredible. So I was completely wrong about the continuation of it. So I wonder why they called it Until Dawn. Obviously, it's going to be the same kind of concept. But I mean, the Quarry could have easily been Until Dawn 2 because, once again, you had to survive until dawn. So I'm kind of curious as to why they've made this one Until Dawn. But it looks amazing. Again, I like what they did there with the push, whatever his name was, or jump alone, because it didn't actually show you which decision they made, so that when it's our time to play, we don't know which one would have him hitting the rocks. I imagine it's probably if we jump alone. But then, who knows? Sorry, I'm already trying to work through the decisions I would make in that situation. That's why I love these games, because they've got that replayability. My only problem with these games, again, Dark Pictures, shorter game, which means the replay value for me is a lot stronger, because the opening's always amazing, then it slows right down, but only for about 30-40 minutes, and then you get really into the story and it starts picking up the pace a lot quicker. The Quarry, Until Dawn, slow games. Like the first couple of hours after that initial intro feel very slow, basically. There's no other way to describe it, very slow. Which is a shame, because it's one of the games you really want to replay, but you don't want to just start halfway through it, because your early decisions can really affect the main story. The Quarry, for example, there's something with the freezer. I think if you put a bag or something in the way or something, anyway, you can leave the freezer unlocked. So later on in the last chapter, you can get out of the freezer without freezing to death. But I just, that's the only problem with it being such a long game. I feel like the replayability for me drops because I just can't bother with the initial slog. Again, particularly because there's not as much of a change at the beginning. You don't really notice an overall arcing change in the story. There just might be a few little bits that's different as the game progresses, but nothing major enough to play through 2 hours worth of gameplay just to move a mop or something like that, because it's going to play into it later on. That's my only problem with these. But it looks amazing. A little uncanny valley. I always say this about the Dark Pictures anthology. There's just something that doesn't quite, and it's weird because motion capture is so freaking good now. But it's just something about it. I mean, the characters look exactly like they should look. You know, I'm pretty certain that the person I think it looks like is very potentially that person. You can tell that they've took actual people's faces and put it on the game. But they just look odd. I don't know what it is. I just can't put my finger on it, but there's just something odd about it. But all in all, really excited for that story. It looks really incredible. Looks a lot of fun, and I cannot wait to try it out. Anyway, that is it for this trailer reaction. I'd love to know your thoughts and theories down below in those comments. And until then, I'll see you all on the next video coming soon. Bye.